Okay, I'm just going to say something that needs to be said among Latinos, among the Latino community, especially among Chicano community, Mexican Americans, Latino Americans, okay? Okay, I'm just going to say something that needs to be said among Latinos, among the Latino community, especially among Chicano community, Mexican Americans, Latino Americans, okay? If it wasn't for Black culture, Black people, Black communities, Black leaders, Black artists, Black music, all of it, if it wasn't for that, we would have an entirely different experience in the United States. Here's the difference between Black folks and Latino folks. The Black people in America, their ancestors fought for the rights that we all get to fucking enjoy right now. So many Latinos act like white folks just decided to give Latinos rights, just decided to let Latinos vote, just decided to put laws in place so that you could buy property. If it wasn't for Black leaders, Latinos wouldn't even be able to bring their kids to a public school.
Blessed risings, good afternoon or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show. And today, on this episode of Those Model Citizens, we will be discussing Latina. She says it all. What we've been screaming, though, but maybe now y'all will listen. Did you catch that? Latina repeats what we've been screaming from the mountaintops. Maybe now y'all will listen. We'll be discussing this and more after these brief messages.
Savage Media.
We have a lot of the privileges that we have today because of the Civil Rights Act, because of the Fair Housing Act, because of Voting Rights Act, which for those of you Latinos who voted for Trump, you're welcome. If you are Latino, you better recognize the gift that we were just handed from Black people. So it actually makes sense that more Latinos voted for this president because you didn't have to work for the rights that you were just handed. And don't worry, I will be talking about immigration too, but for right now, I just want to give Black people their flowers. I want to give Black artists their flowers. I want to give Black culture their flowers, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be who I am. Happy, beautiful, beautiful Black History Month from this Latina and most Latinos that have common sense.
All right, let's get one thing straight, okay? That's all fine and dandy.
I'm just going to say something.
Here, it's all fine and dandy. But this isn't a standing ovation moment, okay? A Latina woman saying stop the anti-Black racism in her community ain't brave. What it is overdue. That is what it is, okay? The only reason this video even hits different is because some of y'all will only start listening when it ain't coming from Black mouths. And that says more about you than it does about her. Foundational Black Americans have been calling out anti-Blackness from every angle, screaming it from the mountaintops. Latino, Asian, African immigrants, and yes, even amongst our own skin folks with tether tendencies. But what do we get? Gaslit, ignored, talked over, or worst of all, mocked and misrepresented by tethers and raccoons speaking out of pocket on our behalf. That's what we get. We didn't just desegregate America, we dragged this country kicking and screaming out of Jim Crow terror straight into civil rights legislation. We broke the back of white supremacy's legal system with protest, policy, and perseverance. Y'all don't have that. You leave your hometown, your home country, and you run over here where we have done the work. And while we were getting hosed, lynched, jailed, bitten, beaten, y'all was watching from the sidelines. That's all you was doing. You was watching from the sidelines. Y'all don't want to help us? Y'all don't want to help us? Help you? Haven't we helped you enough? And then when we get to talking about reparations, you say, well, we didn't do nothing. We didn't want to slavery. We didn't enslave you. Yeah, but you benefited on our backs. That's what happened. While you was watching from the sideline, you seen your chance to show up later and you collect the spoils off of our bodies. That's what you did. See, because you can't begin to twist history. It was FBA blood, sweat, and legislation that opened up the floodgates. Right? For immigration reform, you know that pesky thing in 1965. You know. See, as we were fighting so hard, y'all pulled up and slid in the side door, but you forgot who unlatched it for you. You forgot who created a side door for you. You know, Asian community, you know you benefited from the Civil Rights Act too. Yet some of y'all wanna tiptoe around and be model citizens, like it wasn't us who kicked the door in first for you. But then this Latina comes along and she echoes and parrots what we've been yelling for decades. The only difference is she might get some credit. She might get some applause. All while FBA gets labeled divisive. But we're not moved by none of this. We're not impressed. We're just documenting receipts. That's all. And none of our messages are about clout. It's about correction. It's about knowledge. It's about FBA not being punching bags no more, or stepping stones, or mascots. Bottom line, respect is not optional. It's required. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm just going to mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Going to leave you with 4 words that we always do around this time. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, and share if you care, if you dare to get Black empowerment everywhere. We are on all of the platforms: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Come and take a look. You might get hooked, but don't get shook by the fake Keep It P podcasts that are out there. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I gotta go high for show high. You already know how. Big Brother Light Bright Supremo Might T. Signing off.
FBA fixation. It's just that FBA fixation, y'all. Woo! FBA fixation. I'm telling you what I know right now. Oh, FBA fixation. Oh, it's an FBA fixation.
My name is Cedric Blackman, and I'm a contributor of Abolish, The Slave Patrol, a documentary that will crack open the door on a hidden truth about our present. It's a truth about the roots of something too many of us take for granted: American policing. We like to believe our systems evolved organically, but Abolish, The Slave Patrol exposes